coaches. One in particular that I think we need to discuss a little more maybe than we have been is Tennessee Volunteers coach Rick Barnes. The Vols have just won their 4th in a row. Now, they were big favorites tonight against Ole Miss. They won 84-66. But look, when this season started, and I'll hold my hand up. I was like, man, damn, Rick Barnes, is this finally the year where the era catches up to him? They didn't do enough in the portal. They maybe got Gillespie and they took a shot on a mint, but outside of that, what do they got? And now they've won 4 in a row. They're in the top 20 at Ken Pom. And it kind of feels to me, Coach Roberts, that they've stabilized here. And I just think this consistency of this program is what you have to marvel at. They're just always in the mix. They're always in that top 20 at Ken Pom. Even in a reloading year, there are the Tennessee Volunteers, as much as it pains me to say as a Memphian.
You know something? He's going to play his style. He does a great job of isolating guys. He does a great job of getting guys coming off screens. He does a great job of playing to his team's strengths, whatever that may be. The strength of their team is Gillespie and Ament to score. The other big guys know we're going to throw it to you. You're going to duck in. We're going to throw it to you in the paint. You're going to have to score from 2 feet. And you got to be physical and go rebound the ball. And then the only way you're going to get on the court is if you guard. You're going to guard. And I really think his teams that he had at Texas were always very talented, very good. We played against them for a number of years. But I never felt they were real physical. Okay, back in the day with PJ and those guys, they were. But the more recent teams, I didn't think they were physical. But ever since he's gone to Tennessee, his teams are physical, extremely physical. They chase you off of every screen. They're physical with you in the post. They're going to be physical with you on offense as well as defense. They do a great job of walling up and protecting the rim. So you got to give Coach a lot of credit. He stays to his beliefs and has done a great job doing it.
Rob? Yeah, they certainly don't miss a day in the weight room. I'll tell you that much when you watch some of those guys play. Like they're hitting their benches, Norm. They're hitting their curls. Those guys look like they're beach ready. I will say the thing that has flipped this for them, and this is going to sound simplistic, but it is Nate Ament has turned into the Nate Ament that we thought he had the potential to be, right? Like
most definitely.
This was a kid that came in as a top 5 prospect, as a potential top 5 player in the NBA draft, top 5 pick in the draft. And the start of the year, like he didn't play bad, but it felt like he never really got out of third gear. I think he was adjusting to the physicality of this level. He was adjusting to the athleticism of this level. He was trying to figure out, he's not, you look at AJ DeBonce and you look at Darren Peterson, and those guys are freaks athletically. So they're able to get to their spots and elevate over defenders, whether or not these guys are 3, 4, 5, 6 years older than them. And Nate Ament's not really that. Like he's a little bit more smooth and fluid than he is someone that's like just uber explosive. And I think it took him a little while to figure out how he could get to his spot and deal with that physicality and that toughness. And now that he has, last 4 games, he's averaging 24.5 points, and they've won all 4. Last 6 games, he's averaging 23 points, and they're 5-1 in that stretch, have gotten to within a game and a half of first place in the SEC. And oh, by the way, Norm, they're the only team that's beaten Texas A&M in the SEC. The only team that's beaten them.
Wow.
Took double overtime, but they were able to get that job done. Like if you give Rick Barnes 2 guys that he could scheme something for to get them shots, and then give him 3 guys. It was like the old adage. I had a high school coach one time tell me that all he needs to be able to win in high school basketball is give me 2 really good basketball players and 3 football players, and we're going to win a lot of games. And it feels like that's kind of what Rick Barnes does. Give me 2 basketball players and 3 guys to go out there and be bullies on the block, and we're going to win a lot of games. And that's what they have now, and that's why they've kind of gotten clicking.
Yeah. And Norm, I want to make one last point about Rick Barnes, and I know that you can appreciate this because you lived it. You lived that life, and you saw, the before NIL era, and you lived the post NIL era. I've seen coaches struggle with that transition. We look around the country. Some coaches are are making that transition really smoothly. Some are not. And I just think Rick Barnes, to have been in it for as long as he has, he's an experienced guy, right? He's up there. But to have basically not even seen a drop off, like managing that transition as well as he has, like they're 16th at KenPom, Norm, and this is a down year for Tennessee. So I just tip my hat to the fact that he's adjusted and adapted, as well, honestly, as any coach, no matter how young they are in the country.
You know what he's done? He's got a philosophy, it looks like to me, in that, okay, we're gonna pay somebody, we're gonna pay two guys that are gonna be our elite guys. They're gonna get paid. Now, I'm gonna also go get some really good players. We're not gonna pay those guys as much, but we're gonna pay two guys and say, okay, these guys are gonna be our stars. And he's done a great job with that. Now, no one thought Connect was going to be where Connect was.
Mhm.
Now Chaz, people thought Chaz was going to be really good, no doubt. But no one thought Connect was going to be what he was. But he's done a great job, and his staff has done a great job of evaluating talent that fits what he wants.
You know what I love about it too, Norm? You see a lot of guys that that have a run at a school and then kind of get forced out, right? I don't know if it was forced out, however you want to phrase it. Like it runs its course, and you got to go find something new, and you end up at another high major job. And a lot of times you look at it and it's like, oh, that's his retirement job, or he's just going there to cash a couple more paychecks.
Mhm.
To be able to make sure that he could buy his beach house or buy his yacht or whatever it ends up being, right? And that kind of felt like that might be what it was going to be for Rick going to Tennessee, and it's been the opposite. Like his tenure now, to me, is defined by what he's done at Tennessee. Like he's turned this program
Totally.
into one where
Totally.
right now,
Totally.
Tennessee is, what are they? They're 15-6 overall. They're 6-3 in the SEC. They're a top 25 team in the AP poll, and they're a top 20 team on KenPom. And that's a down year. That's a year where we're like, yeah, it's not, Rick didn't do his best. Like that's a career year for a lot of coaches. And this is a down year now for Rick Barnes at Tennessee. And it's good for him, man. Good for him.
Good for him, for sure.
Well
Again,
deserved.
as much as it pains me to say, he's doing a great job this year, no question about it. All right, Jacoby Gillespie is a big part of that. Had 20 tonight in the win against Ole Miss. We had a chance to catch up with Jacoby, and here's a few minutes with the Tennessee guard.